Welcome everybody, let's get going. Is that better? Mic check. Yeah, there we go. It's good. Mic check. Yeah, just doing some grinding at the moment, just to get the team up, and then we'll carry on. So all we're doing is we are using the original Pokemon that he had and that he kept. Just for that first season, and we're challenging the Kanto League with him. Gonna see if we can beat him and see if he could actually win the league with the Pokemon team that he had. So our Bulbasaur isn't evolving, neither is our Squirtle. We had 7 Pokemon that we could have chosen from that he had the whole series. Not the whole series, but most of it. So he had his Squirtle, the Bulbasaur, and then he had his Charizard. He had his Muck. He had a Kingler, a Pidgeotto, and of course we can't forget Pikachu. We'll just grind everyone up, get them around level 7 each, and then we can just carry on from there. So at the moment we're going with our 2 water types instead of having the Pidgey on our team. And that's mainly just because with HMs we're going to have to be using our Kingler anyway, because that's going to be our strength, probably our cut, and maybe Surf as well. So we could put Surf on Bulbasaur since Kingler is mainly physical anyway. We might teach Cut to the Bulbasaur, just to give it a little bit extra diversity. A little bit extra coverage, if you will. Could go with Pokemon that he had in the series, but that would Yeah, they would give us a Gengar, or they would give us a Haunter, because he had that in a fight with Sabrina. It would also give us a Butterfree, but I reckon we can only really use the team that he would use in the Pokemon League since he let those other ones go. We'll just use what he kept. He did catch Tauros, a few of them in the Safari Zone, but I can't really remember if he used them in battle. I don't think he used them much. So we're just going to stick with what we've got here. And we'll probably rotate Pidgeotto in and out when we need it. Maybe when we go to Erika's gym. And I know he didn't have these Pokemon this early in the stage, but I also can't win fights by setting fire to stadiums, so we're just going to start out with the whole team and go from there. challenge doesn't really start until we've got our team up, and really until we get to the first gym. Oh, can you fucking hit an attack? Almost lost to a fucking level 2 Veggie. Come on. Yeah, pound that bird. Yeah, pound the fucking rat too. Ah, fuck's sake. I am useless at Pokemon. Since we're not using rare candies after the first gym, this is going to become a Nuzlocke, so they are each going to have 1 life. So they can faint up to twice after we've beaten the first gym. And then, but after the first gym, if we have no Pokemon faint at all for the rest of the run, we are going to do a Radical Red Nuzlocke and we're going to use 1 Pokemon from each of the winning teams. That so we're going to try and make this a series. We're going to make it go through each of the regions, use the same team that Ash did in that team, and try and beat the Pokemon gyms and the Pokemon League in each of the regions with Ash's team. So if we do that, we have up until the first gym to train just for a little bit, grind, get up to level 7, level 8, and then after the first gym, each Pokemon has 1 life. And then if I can make it through the rest of the game with no Pokemon fainting, and we finish the Pokemon League, we have all Pokemon still have all their lives, we pick 1 Pokemon from this team to use in our Radical Red Nuzlocke, and we can give it any ability and any move, and we can also evolve it if it's a Pokemon that we pick that isn't fully evolved. So we'll go through each of the regions that Ash participated in, use his team, and if we can win, we'll see if we can beat Radical Red with our Pokemon that we get from these runs. So we'll get those Pokemon from the runs, and then if we fail, so if we ended up with a Pokemon not with losing a life or even losing a Pokemon, then we just get the normal Pokemon. It doesn't get any extra ability, doesn't get any be able to evolve any further than what it is. We have just 2 more to train up, so I'll probably get the Pidgey up a little bit higher because it's not going to be in our party for a while. So we're just going to keep rolling with the 2 water types. And we'll see how we go, because we've got a pretty strong weakness to electric Pokemon. So we don't really have any ground. Pikachu can learn Dig, and the Krabby gets Mud Shot. But the only one that's resisting electric attacks is our Bulbasaur. And our Pikachu. If electric Pokemon even resist electric? I'm not sure. This Grime is pretty bulky though, so it might be a good. And when it evolves into Muck, it should be pretty good. Should be pretty solid for this team. We got pretty strong against grass. We'll have Charizard. We've got Poison. And we've got Pidgeotto as a flying type as well. So pretty good against most. Psychic's gonna be a bit rough. Psychic and Ghost, it's gonna be a bit rough. But we should be alright. We end up just using probably our Charizard down the track in that regard. And Bulbasaur does, not Bulbasaur, Squirtle does get bite. It would be nice if Bulbasaur got bite. Yeah, so we should have bite on the Squirtle, and pretty sure the Charizard will get bite as well. Yeah. When we get up to Sabrina, we're gonna have a decent. It's gonna be a decent psychic weakness. Our Bulbasaur and our Grimer should be a muck at that stage. we'll probably just get bodied by that team. So we're gonna have to probably use Charizard, maybe the Squirtle, see how strong that ends up being, because it's gonna be staying a Squirtle, of course. The only things that can fully evolve on this team are the Kingler, or Krabby, the Charmander, and the Grimer. Those are the only ones that actually fully evolve by the time he takes on the Pokemon Gym. There's Pidgeot, no, not the Pokemon Gym, in the Pokemon League. When he gets to the Pokemon League, those are the only ones that actually are evolved. His Pidgeotto stays Pidgeotto. It stays Pidgeotto until after he's fought the league, and he's on his way back. After he's fought the league, his Pidgeotto then evolves into Pidgeot. So our Pidgey will be staying a Pidgeotto. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough for the Krabby at the moment, because it really is just, its special attack is it's horrendous. There's not many physical border moves in this generation either. So we've basically really only got Crab Hammer, which he doesn't learn until much later down the track. Not even sure what level he actually learns Vice Grip either. Get our Pidgey out as well. So as you can see, the Squirtle is holding an Everstone. Same with the Bulbasaur. Got another one to give to Pidgey when it evolves to Pidgeotto. And that's just because I couldn't be bothered pushing B every time to stop them evolving. Now, as far as healing items goes, in this, we are going to not be using them in battle. And that's just purely because Ash couldn't use them in battle either. So there's no fear if you use revives or anything like that in between in battle. But he could go to the Pokemon Center between fights, like in the Pokemon League in the first series. They could go to the Pokemon Center in between fights. So when we get up to there, we'll perfectly fine be using healing items in between the battles. It's just not allowed to use any while we're fighting in battle. So basically, and that means no held items as well. So there'll be no berries being used. There'll be no item enhancements, like Silk Scarf or anything like that. So none of that stuff will be being used. We're just going to roll with just the only thing that's going to be held items is going to be the Everstones, just because it makes it a bit easier and a little bit quicker. I don't know what level Krabby learns Fly Script at. I was pretty sure at one stage that Fly Script used to be actually a water type move. It used to be a physical water type move. That was it. I'm not sure if waterfall's in this game. If it is, that's physical as well. But I'm pretty sure that it's not. Oh, excuse me. I mean, we're actually not that far off what my starting team would usually be. I mean, see, normally I would have either the Charizard or the Bulbasaur as my starter. If I went Bulbasaur, then I'd usually get a Growlithe. If I go Charmander, I usually don't really carry a grass type. But I always try and get Pikachu. My main water type is actually usually Krabby and usually a Kingler. And Normally I would just have a Pidgeot all the way through until you get the Aerodactyl. That's usually what replaces my Pidgeot. So yeah, that's usually what I'm rolling with for my team. I get really annoyed about not being able to just get a normal Gengar in game. And then if I'm rolling with a Charmander as a starter, usually I try and get the Marowak or a Cubone. Because just having ground type in these like Fire Red, having a ground type is pretty handy, especially for Koga, and just the amount of like stab they get. Especially Marowak is pretty decent in Fire Red in these early games. Just especially when they've changed Bone Ring as well. So that's really good. It's pretty much base 100, and the accuracy is pretty good for it as well. So that gives you a really good stab ground type move. Base, pretty much. It's base 50, but it hits twice. So it's pretty much base 100 stab physical ground. Wow, I'm bloody died. Fuck. Just doing something over here. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, that's me. Just can't bloody friggin' sign in. Don't worry about it. Right, we're not far off from actually carrying on in game. So yeah, we're sticking with we'll be sticking with this team. Pidgey will be going back into the PC. I know it can be quite handy for forest, but we don't really need it. Probably need to train our water Pokemon up more than anything. right now, or maybe just a Bulbasaur. And then maybe after we get out of the Moonstone Cave, what the fuck it's called, Mount Moon. Jesus, it's been that long since I actually played this game. It is Mount Moon, isn't it? So I think, yeah, we'll get our Pidgey up to level 10, and then we might give it some training. We might give it some training before Mount Moon. We might give it some training there, or we might give it some training just outside of Cerulean. We've got the grass there with some Furo. There might be some good grinding there. Otherwise, it's pretty useless outside the forest in early game. So yeah, there's Pidgey to level 10. Let's go and dump it back in the PC. We'll get out our Squirtle, and then we'll start, and we'll go fight our rival because he's just a bloody dick anyway. Now, only time we'll be using speed up is mainly just when we're grinding. So we're not going to use it for our rival battles. We're not going to use it for any other trainer battles. We're just gonna we'll just use speed up just for grinding, because that just makes it a little bit easier. Alright, so I'm probably just gonna leech seed him and then switch out. Yeah, I could get a tackle off, but just not even gonna risk it. And I put the wrong Pokemon back in the fucking PC. So we'll go back and change that around and make sure everything's in the right spot. Do we? Pretty sure we get the running shoes in this game too, don't we? I think it's just after we beat Brock. Right, so now we've got the team proper. We will go and watch this guy. It's so annoyed at this guy when he just won't leave you alone. So we're not, while we're carrying on, we are not going to be grinding, so we're not running backwards and forward in the grass. If we get wild encounters, we get wild encounters, but we are just going to be carrying on through. It also means we're not going to get the EXP share because we're not going to have enough Pokemon. And we really don't need any Pokeballs, so we'll just end up selling those. And we may buy potions, but we don't really need them either. We're going to give Gregory some training. So he's going to be a lead for a while. So we might, hopefully we'll get to level 10 before we go and fight Brock. Yeah, we'll do some equal training between our Krabby and our Squirtle. So we'll just do some equal training between them until we get to Brock's gym. We could train our Bulbasaur up as well, but I think that's gonna be our lead going through Mount Moon, so that because there's plenty of Geodude in there to fight. You know, I'm pretty sure it's grass and poison in this, so it's not going to be too annoyed by Zubat. I can't remember if they have Gust or not though, so we'll wait and see. But we'll just check, make sure it is. Yeah, it is it is grass poison, so that should be our lead go through Mount Boone. So probably don't need much training for that anyway. But mainly just I'll use speed up in the wild encounters and through the long text, because it really just gets annoying sitting there and they're just saying the same thing that you've heard probably 1,000 times already. I can't remember how many times I've started over this game. I mean, I played on the original Game Boy, so it would be it was the grey box is what I played it on. Oh, thank God he leveled up there, because otherwise he was probably gonna die. Maybe we might switch out on this as well. We'll see how much poison this thing does if it gets poisoned. If it bloody stops string shotting me, because that's really annoying too. Yeah, so only 3, so hopefully, it doesn't matter anyway. I was gonna say hopefully we don't get poisoned, but so I'd use string shot. And of course we'll stay in with the Kakuna. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bubble's special anyway, so Harden's it's just gonna do the same. So Harden's gonna do nothing. For so long, I didn't understand what special attack meant. So like special attack and special defense, I always thought that was just how much extra your water type moves did, and how much you resisted like the opposite. So your special defense, I always thought, like if you thought you're crabby, I always thought special defense meant how much more bloody electric moves that he could take. Yeah, it took me so long before I realised what special attack and special defense meant. I forgot they had animations for potions in this. I knew there was an antidote up there, so I was just like, oh, I can't be bothered going back. What is annoying is that because I'm not going to get the XP share, I'm just going to have to grind a lot of these levels up. Especially for the Bulbasaur and the Scrotal. I mean, they're gonna be pretty much glass in the later rounds, so we're gonna have to just see. We might have to over level them a little bit, but I'm not gonna specifically go out and train those two to over level. Now, what level does Squirtle learn water gun? That's annoying how that pops up on that side. Go here. Let's do that. This is technically Gen 3. So we'll do that. Learns water gun at level 13. So that's really handy. I think we're just gonna roll with it how it is. Because it would just take too long to train it up to that high. So we'll leave it how it is, and we'll see what happens. It might even get to level 13 in the gym. I don't know. So Krabby learns Vice Grip at level 12. So see that, is it in Gen 2 that Vice Grips? No, I was pretty sure that Vice Grip was a water move at one point. It might have just been a bloody ROM hack, because I cannot remember. I'll give Krusty a bit of a run as well, because he's our backup for the first gym, and then Bulbasaur is our backup for our backup. So I think we'll get into Pewter City. We'll beat Brock, and then I think we might call it a night. pod, we'll stay in and just bubble it. What I'd like to know is how the bloody hell a crab was getting outspeared by a freaking cocoon. I mean, he's not going anywhere. Really don't want to get poisoned at this point. I don't know if he'd make it to... We probably should make it to the Pokemon Center. Now whenever I was looking for a Pikachu, I always had the theory that only these top 2 rows of grass would have a Pikachu in them, and that was wherever I would only just go backwards and forwards in these top 2 sections of grass to find a Pikachu. Alright, so we're getting into Pewter City. We'll heal up and then we'll just go straight to the gym. So straight into the gym. And we'll get this fight done. We'll go out and we'll do a recap of Pokemon in our party. And yeah, so we'll do a recap of the Pokemon in the party, and then we'll call it a night, save up, and get ready for the next time. It'd be really cool in these Gen 1 games if that when you beat Brock and Misty, if they'd join you and they'd come along with you, I reckon that would have been a cool little thing that they could have done, but they ended up not, and just making them the gym leaders, which it's pretty understandable. But if you remake the game, it would be fun to actually play properly as Ash, and you know, you get to go on trips with his two friends. I think a lot of people would like that anyway. Right, that is the first badge down. That also means that the Nuzlocke side of this is now in effect. We cannot lose any more Pokemon, we cannot let that happen, otherwise our team, it wouldn't be too bad, say if it was the Squirtle or the Bulbasaur. It's not a huge loss. Yeah, you do get the running shoes, sweet. I thought you did. I just couldn't remember fully. Who wouldn't love getting a note from your mum? And these guys are bloody crazy. Anyway, you know, how many 10-year-olds could just go and wander around the whole country? Alright. So, for our current team at the moment, we have our level 14 Squirtle Gregory. It is gentle nature and with a standard ability Torrent. Splash is level 9, who was our starter, our Charizard. So we'll be Charmander going into our Charizard, so we'll be getting up Careful Nature, which is like the exact opposite of bloody Ash's Charizard. I mean, that thing was a fucking menace. Then we got our Pikachu with Static, again level 8. These Charmander and the Pikachu should be getting some training over the next couple of episodes. When we get up to before we get up to Mount Moon, we're going to use Pikachu and Charmander mainly. So that's got static ability. You see, good attack, good special attack, crappy Spadef, and just the standard Pikachu speed. Our bulky boy, Gooper, Grimer with the sticky hold, which is not going to really help us because we're not using held items. So that Krusty, our Krabby with the Hyper Cutter, and our Bulbasaur with its standard ability. And we've got we're a pretty gentle team apparently. We're docile, we're timid, we're gentle, we're naive, careful. We ain't gonna be bloody blowing up anything for us. Yeah. So we'll leave it here. And we'll pick that up another day, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. So thank you all for not watching, because I'm all alone. But we'll still be here. We'll probably play some Ironmon. We've got some other things coming, some other videos. Yeah, I got some other stuff coming as well. I'll just dipping the toes in the pool at the moment and seeing what comes out. Oh god, I'm dying. And if you guys see this on that, hope to see you again. And yeah, have a good day. I got some cool stuff coming, and it'll be pretty good. And I'll let you know when that's all ready to go.